Now that the post-nut clarity is sort of setting it in, it's probably worth talking about that thing that happened. Yeah, that thing. Much like the guy that gets way too carried away doing roleplay, Donald Trump got so into his tough guy show that he says something that he should be ashamed of, but he won't. Partially because it's part of the brand, and partially because in the mind of someone like Trump, this is just the cost of doing business. Trump only has one negotiating tactic: put the screws on. He puts out maximum force, maximum bluster, maximum pain, and says, accept my terms or I will end you. And this is why authoritarian sympathetic individuals, and even some non-sympathetic individuals, have a hard time talking about why Trump's strategies shouldn't be employed. Because bullying and pain are effective in a civil society. If someone says, we're going to have a talk, and at the talk the other party walks in and starts repeatedly punching the other person, I can guarantee you that the person who was throwing the punches will get their way at first. And geopolitics isn't the only place this exists. If you look at the world which Trump comes from, high-level corporate real estate and finance, these bastards are constantly strong-arming and cutthroating each other in order to get an edge. And most of the threats thrown about are bravado and bluster that is empty, but to the average person's ears would seem excessive and out of control. Like, come on guys, Succession, Wolf of Wall Street, this bullshit wasn't created in a vacuum. So when it comes to the world stage, Trump has been getting his way consistently by just going out and being loud and being mean. Because let's be honest, if you are on the receiving end, are you willing to gamble with your position of power, your country's livelihood, and your people's safety to play chicken with someone like Trump? So when we get to this point in the war, Trump has been fed a steady diet of war porn saying that we have bombed Iran back to the Stone Age and that they are totally defeated. So why are they insisting on not giving up? This kind of defiance is unfathomable in Trump's mind. But Iran's government and military haven't been annihilated in the way that has been projected to him. And they are religious zealots, so getting an I surrender out of them is not going to be as easy as blowing up their country. And the end state is that you wind up making worse and worse threats in an attempt to get capitulation. Kind of like how people who watch porn end up getting into weirder and weirder shit the more they watch. Yeah. Too much? Yeah, whatever. So am I saying that we should just ignore all of Trump's threats and bluster as just man talk? No! Conservatives absolutely have been advocating for this, and I say this is equally as dangerous because Trump is both spoiled and a coward at his core. So he will do anything to get what he wants, up to and including that it has the possibility at biting him in the ass. He is a pretty good judge of people, but he's also not that good of a judge of situations. So trying to calculate what he will or won't do comes down to seeing, will he be able to do it and still be able to spin it as a victory? So what should we take away from all of this? Whether or not it is a negotiating tactic or not, Trump is going to use whatever strong-arm tactics that he can in order to get concessions of defeat from people he sees as enemies. All he wants is flattery and praise. He said that on many different occasions. And really, we should understand that these threats, whether empty or full, are beyond us at this point. There's nothing that any of us can do to stop him from making the threats that he makes. But what we need to understand is that at a certain point, we're going to have to rebuild after, whatever mess that Trump makes. And part of that rebuilding is going to be convincing people that were formerly allies that we are trustworthy, convincing enemies and adversaries that our negotiations are capable of being trusted. And when it comes to nuking a civilization, it's a strong maybe. So, duck under your desks and face away from the flash, because the real nuclear weapon is the friends you made along the way.